HowExpert presents The Rise and Fall of Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar is one of the most famous Roman emperors in history. He was a great general and conquered many lands. His reign as emperor was short-lived, however, as a group of senators assassinated him. Why did Julius Caesar meet such a violent end? We'll take a closer look at the life and death of Julius Caesar. Caesar's early life. Julius Caesar was born in Rome in 100 BC. His father was a member of the noble class, but he died when Caesar was young. Caesar's mother came from a wealthy family, so he inherited a large fortune. As a young man, Caesar studied rhetoric and law. He also served in the army for a time. Caesar was very ambitious and wanted to make a name for himself. He was also a great orator, which helped him in his political career. Caesar's rise to power. Civil War. Julius Caesar rose to power in a time of great political turmoil in Rome. The Roman Republic was divided between two fractions, the populares, who supported the interests of the common people, and the optimates, who supported the interests of the noble class. Caesar aligned himself with the populares, and Caesar rose to power as a result. In 60 BC, Julius Caesar created the first triumvirate with Pompey and Crassus. This alliance allowed him to become consul in 59 BC. He then became governor of Gaul, which is known today as France, where he conquered many lands for Rome. In 55 BC, he even invaded Britain. In 49 BC, after Crassus died and Pompey turned against him, Caesar crossed the Rubicon River with his army and marched on Rome. This started a civil war that lasted until 45 BC. By that time, Julius Caesar had emerged victorious and became the sole ruler of Rome. Caesar's victory in the Civil War was due to his great military skills. He was a very talented general with a lot of warfare experience. Caesar also supported the common people, who he believed would bring him stability and prosperity. Religious beliefs and tolerance. Julius Caesar was a polytheist who believed in a pantheon of gods and goddesses. He also believed that the divine intervened in human affairs, and he frequently counseled with oracles to determine the god's will. In addition, Julius Caesar was a big proponent of the Roman cult of ancestor worship, which held that the dead could influence the living for good or cause ill will. Julius Caesar's religious beliefs were very important, and he took them seriously. Julius Caesar was a very tolerant man and allowed other cultures to keep their religions. He believed that if people followed Romans' laws and weren't causing any trouble, they should be allowed to practice their faiths. Julius Caesar was also very interested in others and their religions, and he frequently visited temples and shrines of other religions. He was a great ambassador for Roman culture and religion and helped promote understanding between different cultures. The reign of Julius Caesar, dictatorship. Julius Caesar's reign as emperor was marked by many great accomplishments. He reformed the Roman calendar, built roads and public works, and even extended citizenship to non-Romans. However, some of his actions caused discontent among the senators. In particular, his decision to appoint himself a dictator for life was seen as a threat to the Republic. Julius Caesar used his position as dictator to make many government and military changes. He gave himself the power to appoint new officials, and he made changes to the army that made it more effective. He divided the army into legions, much smaller than the previous divisions. He also made the army more mobile, so it could travel more quickly and respond to emergencies more quickly. The soldiers were also now paid salaries, which helped keep them loyal to Rome. Lastly, Julius Caesar made it law that all boys in Rome had to serve in the army for a certain number of years, which helped increase the army's size. Julius Caesar passed several laws that benefited the people of Rome. He passed a law that reduced the price of grain. He passed a law that made it easier for people to get loans. He also passed a law that allowed people to sue the government. This was an important law because it allowed people to hold the government accountable for its actions. Caesar's assassination and legacy. Caesar's reign as emperor was cut short by his assassination in 44 BC. Marcus Brutus led a group of senators who feared that Julius Caesar was becoming too powerful and killed him on the Ides of March. The Ides of March is a Roman calendar day corresponding to the 15th of March. After his death, Rome descended into another civil war until Octavian emerged as the first Roman emperor Augustus in 27 BC. Marcus Junius Brutus, also known as Marcus Julius Brutus, was a Roman politician and general. He was a member of the Senate and supported the optimates faction. He was also a friend of Julius Caesar. When Caesar was assassinated, Brutus was one of the senators who participated in the plot. Julius Caesar's death ushered in a period of instability and violence. The Roman Republic was effectively dead, replaced by a series of dictators. The first was Julius Caesar's nephew, Octavian, who became the first Roman emperor under the name Augustus. Augustus was a skilled politician and military commander. He was able to bring peace and stability to Rome. However, his reign also saw the beginning of Rome's decline. Augustus' successors were often weak or incompetent and could not prevent the empire from slipping into decline. The Roman Empire continued to exist for centuries after the death of Augustus, but it was never the same. It was a shadow of its former self, plagued by internal strife and barbarian invasions. The fall of the Roman Empire is a complex story, but Julius Caesar played a significant role in its decline. Establishing a dictatorship set the stage for Rome's eventual decline and fall. Julius Caesar was one of Rome's most famous emperors. He conquered many lands and was an effective leader. However, his reign ended abruptly when he was assassinated by senators who feared his power. Rome descended into civil war following his death until Octavian emerged as Augustus, the first Roman emperor. HowExpert publishes how-to guides by everyday experts. Visit HowExpert.com to learn more.